California teams is your thoughts on these California teams, because you got the San Jose Sharks 9-8-1 sitting 20th overall in the league, LA 8-7-3 sitting 21st just behind them in the league, and Anaheim Ducks 10-6-3. Did not think they'd be sitting top 10 in the league at Thanksgiving, but here we are. Evan, I'm going to start with you because you got the best insight on these group of teams. Which one do you see is likely going to fade? Is it all of them that are likely going to fade? And what has been the biggest surprise and flaw from each of these teams?
Yeah, I think they're all going to fade. I think the team that has the highest chance of making the playoffs is the Anaheim Ducks, and that's just because I trust their goaltending the most. I trust Jack Campbell more than I trust Jonathan Quick, and Cal Pearson's been great, but I think he just needs a little bit more time, and he also just needs a better team in front of him. Like, it's rough. And then the goaltending situation, James Reimer has been unfreaking believable. I'd say that's my biggest surprise in San Jose is that he has like a 950 save percentage, and I think he's like 5-3. So he's definitely been the bright spot in San Jose. I just think they're all gonna fade. Like, it's just about consistency, and of course, like, great, you're good in November, don't matter. Like, no one really cares. Like, no player really cares about their record in November. And so the highest ceiling would be the second wild card spot for Anaheim. I'd say that's as high as any California team goes, just because I think, Nashville's been looking great, and it looks like Matthew Shane's coming alive again. So I just think, I definitely think they'll be the bottom feeders again. I hope they are, because I think the Kings are just in that rebuild phase, and so are the San Jose Sharks. And the Ducks could definitely use another young gun here and there. But if you, like, as my dad says, if you're going to be crap, be crap. Like, if you're going to fade out, be a bottom feeder. So then you have a higher chance. Like, you never want to be like 18th in the league, where then you have like a 10th overall or 15th overall pick. So I hope if they do fade the hell out.
It's the Twilight Zone, man. I absolutely agree with your dad's point. Like, if you're sitting between, I'd say 20 to 32, no, sorry, 20 to 25, 28. If you're sitting around there, there's no business for you playing the game. Let's just really sit down and tank. Like, there's no reason for you to just go through games and try to keep a fan base, try to not keep a fan base. Just pick one side or the other. And we've seen this bite teams in the butt throughout the past couple of seasons. Jared, I'll throw it over to you. What is a biggest surprise and flaw you see from one of these California teams? And I think Evan covered the San Jose Sharks. I want to turn it over to the LA Kings.
In general, I'm just going to say the question of which team do you think is going to slip. I think the answer, as Evan said, is all of them. I don't have a lot of faith in these teams. I do think they're going to end up slipping. Good for them right now that they're doing well, at least in the case of the Ducks. But it's kind of becoming evident that all of them are slipping a little bit. The Ducks have lost 2 in a row. The Kings have lost 4 in a row. And the Sharks, as much as they won their last game, they just aren't a very hot team at all. They're 9-8-1, so they're pretty close to 500. So in general, I'm not a big fan of any of these teams, but that's how it was expected to be going into the year. I mean, we expect these teams to be rebuilders. We expect them to be in the hunt for not for Jack Hughes, in the hunt for Shane Wright. They're pretty bad teams overall, and as much as they've had fairly good starts, I do think they're all going to slowly come back down to earth. In the case of the Kings, I mean, they've had their hot streak. I know they won, what was it, 4 or 5 in a row, or I know when they beat the Leafs, it was them winning 5 in a row, and they ended our 5-game winning streak.
I think they were like 7-0 before it got snapped.
7.
Okay. So yeah, so they had a very hot streak. To be honest, I mean, I'm not exactly so up to date with why the reason that was, who was exactly clicking there. I think Evan would have a better answer for that. I don't watch a lot of Kings.
Everyone was doing their part, and Jonathan Quick was playing like Vezina Quick.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone was kind of clicking there. They had their big winning streak. But since then, the fact that they've lost 4 in a row, it kind of shows that they had a bit of a hot streak, and it's very quickly gone back down to earth. And now they're playing more like we expected them to be going into the year. So again, I don't have a lot of major insight on the Kings, but just they had a hot streak, and it's over now, and they're back to kind of what we expected them to be.
And I think we got a lot of news from them. Try to live in the high that is the California teams, but I just don't think it's going to pan out. Anaheim Ducks, I think we've all been saying this. I think we would all agree that they're probably the most complete team to maybe make, not a run in the playoffs, but maybe get there, because you mentioned, Evan, a bunch of teams in the Central are heating up. Nashville Predators, Duchesne is finally getting a fire lit under him. He's sort of trying to put the pieces together of what he was once before. These other teams are heating up. Hopefully the Anaheim Ducks can keep it up, but the LA Kings and the San Jose Sharks, I don't think they got the entire toolbox, every tool in that box to keep up with these Giants.